What's up guys, welcome to your 9th WX tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to take a simple image such as this creek right here and turn it into a button. And I'm going to show you guys how to do this because whenever we're working with buttons, the defaults they don't suck, but they're kind of plain, and anytime we want to build a cool looking button, then we need to use our own bitmap. And normally you wouldn't use like an image, you'd just make a cool looking button, but same concept, you'll get it. So the first thing that we need to do is go ahead and make our button object, and I'm just going to name it pic, since I can remember picture. That's what I usually call them. Next you need to do wx.image, and this lets you use image, but it takes a few parameters. The first parameter is pretty much the name of the file, and mine's named creek.bmp. It's bitmap. And this needs to be in the same directory as your program. If it's in something else, then again you need to do your slashes and all that with your different folder names, but just for this tutorial, put it in the same directory. After that, you need to write this wx dot in all capital letters bitmap, not mitmap, bitmap underscore type underscore bmp. And the last thing you need to do is convert to bitmap. And this, again, just fill in all of this, and what this is going to do is store this bitmap picture in a variable or object called pic. So now we can do things to this pic. So just remember, what this does is allow you to use pic anytime you want to use that picture instead of having to type this whole thing out. So the next thing we want to do after this is go ahead and create that button. So go ahead and put self dot just name it button or something, and what you need to set it equal to is wx dot, and this is how you make bitmap buttons, bitmap button, and in your parentheses you write what you want its parent to be. I'm going to write mine panel, -1 for ID, -1, and then after this you got to name what you want your button to be. And so we want ours to be pic, again that's what we just made. And the last parameter you probably want is the position of it. So right, POS stands for piece of, no I'm just kidding, it stands for position. Let's go ahead and put 10, 10, 10 or something. Doesn't matter. And now what we have here is pretty much a button. But the thing is, this is pretty much just a picture of a button right now, and we didn't give it any functionality. So what we want to do is bind an event to the button. So we have a button, and it's pretty much just saying, alright, what do you want to do with it? What we want to do is self bind, and what we're going to create right here is the function of when you click on the button it closes. So what do we want to bind to the button? Well, we don't need that equal sign first of all. Put wx event underscore button, and this means well, you see what it means. You should know all this from the last tutorials. We need to create a function later that says do me, and this do me function is going to close the button, and you want to bind to self dot button. So what this bind did is say, alright, on the button function we want to execute this function do me to the button. And if you're running, alright, where's this do me function? Well, we got to build that later. So let's go ahead and press enter, and now we just have to set well, you'll see, self button, and put set default. And what this is pretty much your housekeeping for creating your button. So now it looks like we're good to go, but the only thing we have left to do is create that do me function. And what that do me function does is pretty much say just close this button. So let's go ahead and create a function, def do, yep, there we go right there, and the parameters take self event, and real simple, just put self destroy. I spelled that right? Close enough. So let me run this and I'll show you guys what it does. when you run it, I go ahead and we have this picture right here of this creek, and then we can either close it out using this, or if we click this creek, which is also the button, it go ahead and closes the program like that. So let me show you guys why this works. The first thing we did is take this entire image right here. This is how you do it. You can't change this. And we stored it in a variable called pick. This is just to make it easier. The next thing we did is go ahead and create a button using wxBitmap button. This is how you create bitmap buttons in wx. The parent was panel ID -1. The button, it says, alright, what do you want to use for a button? We want to use that pick image, and this is just positioning. The next thing we do is says, alright, if we just created a button, if we don't make it have any function, then it's pretty much just a picture. We don't want that. So what we need to do is combine when we click the button to have it shut down. And again, we put that shutdown function in doMe, and then we built that later on. So whenever it says, alright, we want to execute a program called doMe, and that program just destroys the button. And this is just housekeeping to create the button. So again, that is your 9th tutorial on how to create bitmap buttons. Hopefully you know now how to create them. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next tutorial.